4:1. So what has happened when it has increased from 4:1? How much its EPS become? 3. I mean, is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
It is 3. Now, can this firm change it further? Because apparently it feels that if you change debt equity ratio, apparently, I'm not saying finally, apparently it shows that if debt equity ratio is changed, your earning per share also changes. Now note, take out a copy, pen and pencil, pen and paper of your this notebook. Write down what I am saying. Assume that. Okay, let me write in the chat box. Let me write that in the chat box. Assume, just one second. Assume that firm B increases its debt equity ratio to 9:1. Suppose that the firm B increases its debt equity ratio from current status to 9:1. Okay, what will be EPS? What will be its EPS at this debt equity ratio? At this debt equity ratio. The question I have spoken to, I have written in the chat box. Now look at the chat box, read it. Assume that firm B increases its debt equity ratio to 9:1. What will be, it's wrongly written beta, what will be its EPS? Not what will bets, what will be its EPS at this stage? Okay. 5.5. Okay. You have rightly calculated 5.5. Is there anyone who cannot agree with this 5.5 calculation? Okay. Is there anyone who is not agreeing with this? Okay, fine. You are with this simple calculation. So I am writing in this slide itself observations. I am writing it once again. If debt equity ratio is 9:1, debt equity ratio of firm B is 9:1, its EPS is 5.50. Now can you see this, what is written on this slide? If debt equity ratio is 9:1, firm B, its EPS becomes 5.5. Before I explain about it further, let us go to the next slide. See, total assets, I have just repeated that only so that it becomes in one slide. And see, now look at serial number C. Percent change in debt equity ratio from B to B2. By what percentage debt equity ratio changed? It was 200, it has become 800. What is the percent change? By which figure it has changed? 10%, 20%, 50%. By what percentage it has changed? It has changed by 60%. What has happened to the debt equity? What has happened to EPS? It has changed by 100% from 150 to 300. So means a change in debt equity ratio results in more change in EPS. Or if in the earlier in this example, if debt increased by 60%, EPS increased by 100%. Once again, we look at the first slide. We have made it to 9.1. What was the initial ratio? Initial ratio was 4:1. What is the initial ratio? What is the change ratio now? 9:1. Again, we are not changing it by 100%, but again our debt equity ratio, our EPS is changing by more than 100%, 300, 400%. So it is not a linear relationship. Come again to this slide. Means if debt is increased by X%, EPS will increase by X2, X3, X4%, any percent, much more than what percentage you are changing your debt. EPS is increasing at a higher percentage. Now, can the firm continue increasing debt and take it to 90%? You have calculated. Now, here I stop and ask you, can the firm B continue increasing debt, take it from 50% to 90%, 99%, 99.99%? Can it do or not? Yes, what is your observation? What is your answer? Can it do or not? So either you say yes or you say no, or you tell something, or I am not audible to you.
There must be critical point where it should stop.
There must be critical point where it should stop. Okay. Any other observation? It has increased from 4:1 to, sorry, it has increased from 1:1 to 4:1. Then it has increased from 4:1 to 9:1. The question I asked, how long can it continue? Or by the way, by the way, if B is increasing its debt equity ratio and because of it, its EPS is increasing, in which firm would you like to invest? In which firm would you like to invest? A or B?
B, sir.
B.
From B.
B. Each one of you would like to invest in B, or there are some who would like to invest in A? Okay. B, in what condition would you like to invest? When its ratio is 1:1, 4:1, or 9:1? Is my question clear? Now I am writing a question in the chat box to which you answer. I am just writing a question: in which firm would you like to invest? In which firm would you like to invest? Would you like to invest? Abhi question is not complete. In which firm would you like to invest? In case your answer is B, then at what stage? That is when its DE ratio is 1:1 or 4:1 or 9:1. I have written this question, and this question is to be answered by each one of you. Take your time, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, but write it in the chat box. I will continue. The question is, in which firm would you like to invest? In case your answer is B, then at what stage? This is to be written by every one of you. Each one of you should answer this question. Have all of you answered, or still somebody is there who has not? I think now I'll copy it, whatever you have written, Most of you, I think each one of you must have written it by now. Is there anyone who still has not written? Razeen was the last one to write. 9:1. A cursor glance, a very short glance, which I say, I note that majority of you have written 9:1. I'll analyze it later, but right now I can see that majority of you have written 9:1. Let me come back to the presentation slide and ask you, if it is so simple that a firm can deliver 3 rupees or 5.5, or I mean you have even calculated 5.5, this one 5.5 per share, 5.5. It is so easy. If it is so easy that merely by changing debt equity ratio you can earn 550% compared to this, how much it is earning? 1. If we call it as 1%, it becomes 550%. If it is 10, so if we say that how much is your investment in this company and how much are you earning, can it earn 5.5 times compared to the other firms? What it has done nothing except changing its debt equity ratio. Practically or realistically, is it possible or not? Realistically,
No,
yes
sir.
or no? Yes
No,
or
sir.
no? No. Why not? By the way, why not? I mean,
No,
any
sir.
logic, any reason why not?
So because if this much debt is increasing, then it will
Because
be harmful for
say
the
it
company.
louder. Say it louder.
So because if this much debt is increasing, then it will be harmful for the company.
In what way will it be harmful?
So because we have debt is increasing, so we have to pay them back. So
We
it
have
is
to
not
pay.
financially stable.
We have to pay.
We have to pay the debt, and it's not financially stable.
Which we have to pay debt and it's not financially stable. Okay. Any other reason? Any other logic? See, now here comes the understanding of general things, understanding of the world, understanding the life as a whole. See, if somebody offers you a promise, somebody makes an offer that you deposit with us, we will pay you 50% interest per annum, or we will pay you 50% return, 100% guaranteed, 2000% guaranteed. Do you think there is something good in the offer or it's not good? I mean, yes or no?
No, sir.
Why not? Okay, why not? Why not? Because
Trust
They are
issues.
offering much, yes, sir. They are offering much larger than the normal scenario, normal
yes,
cases.
they are offering much larger than the normal one. And further, a bit more, elaborate.
Too
So
good
you'd
to
be
be true.
skeptical about why are they
It is,
offering you so much? And
yes,
what's
it is
the,
not practical about it. And more, see, most important thing is if you see something exceptional, if you look at any exceptional offer, look at anything which is away, far away. Closer is different, but which is far away from normal. That means it is least likely that it will be a genuine offer. It will be a correct transaction. This is the rule of law. This is the normal way of life. If everybody is getting 10%, you can get 11%, 12%, 20%, but not 100%. This is one thing. Secondly, explaining it from the point of view of accounting, explaining you from the point of view of accounting and a bit of economics also, little bit of economics. When this firm is increasing its debt equity ratio from 1:1 to 4:1, what is happening? It is asking for more debt from the market. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That means the demand of debt is increasing. Is that right or not?
Yes, sir.
Is for more debt, the demand is increasing. What happens when the demand of any product increases? What is the
Price
result?
also increase.
Normal result. Number one, price also increases. Number two,
Investors.
number two,
Supply.
there is an effect on supply also. Supply will not increase. Supply may be restricted also. Because of restricted supply only, the price increase. See, the why cost increases because the supply gets restricted. So if everybody starts buying debt, if everybody starts giving debt to companies and investing in debt, what will increase? Debt price will increase. What is the price of debt? Interest rate. So from 10%, it will become 12%, 13%, 20%, 40%. When this increases, interest expenses will also increase. When this figure increases, this figure will reduce. When this figure reduces, this figure reduces. Assume that total supply of money which people invest is just, let us say 1 or 100 or 1 billion, just assume as 1. From this only people will invest in debt and in equity, some percentage in debt, some percentage in equity. If the percentage of debt is increasing, the percentage of which component will decrease? Naturally, the percentage of equity will decrease, because from this only the amount will keep shifting from back and forth. Just entire world has 1 rupee to invest, to be invested in either equity or debt in some permutation or combination. If demand of debt is more, the less money will be available for equity. If demand equity is more, less money will be available for debt. In such a scenario, when debt equity ratio is increasing, when more debt is in demand, number one, interest rate will increase, and also demand of debt will increase. Supply of debt will be restricted. There will be one more effect. What will be that effect? Last, perhaps there will be. I'll limited ones. What will be one more? You have accepted that it will go up. You have accepted that for debt will increase, restrict holder in company B. Previously, you are at this stage, now you are not. Your thinking will change or your thinking will not change. So, let me make it simpler. You must have a heart, in which case risk is higher. In case of firm B
In the case of
or
managed to
firm B2, in which case risk is higher,
From B2.
B or B2, and who B2,
From B2. Sir, A.
whose shareholder will have less risk, or rather least risk. A, B or B2. This is B3 situation. Who will have maximum
Sir, A.
risk? A, maximum risk I am saying. B3 will have the maximum risk. Why maximum risk? Because suppose company has got 900 as does not earn any, their money will be spent on interest only, it has to be paid no matter you earn profit or you don't earn profit. That means their risk will be very high, and as a result their expectations will also be very high. If you make any risky investment, you expect more return. Very common saying goes, more risk, more return, less risk, less return. Therefore, they will have more risk, and as a result, this practically will not happen. Look at this slide, what I have written. Okay, this practically will not happen. last word that we can discuss, last condition, conditions under which should lower down increase or increase debt equity ratio. What are the conditions under which a firm should increase its debt equity ratio or decrease debt equity ratio? Under what condition it should increase and under what condition it should decrease? You can think now, answer me now, or maybe later if you think you can answer. We may close our discussion on debt equity ratio by leaving this question here. But before I leave this question here, whatever I have explained to you, is that clear to you, or you have some doubt which I can explain? Is there any question up to this stage? Do you have any question up to this stage?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the
Yes, what is
previous
the
slide,
question?
why the less taxes is written? I didn't.
Okay, wait. In the previous slide, why less taxes are written? You are referring to this one?
Yes, sir. Less taxes and less interest in fifth and seventh
Okay,
column.
okay. Which one? Which column? Refer to me the serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one?
Fifth and seventh. Fifth and seventh.
6 and 7.
5.
Okay.
Less
Are you
interest
clear?
and less taxes.
Okay, I'll tell you. What, are you clear about this figure 150? See, less interest. Less interest means you are having 1,000 rupees as total assets, 500 equity, 500 interest. When you have interest, debt in your capital structure, when you have debentures, will not you pay them interest? You have borrowed 200 rupees here, 500 rupees. At what percentage? 10%. So will not you pay them interest before paying taxes, before distribution among the shareholders?
Yes, sir.
How much is the earning? Earning is 200. So it is not your own earning from which you will pay interest also because you borrowed money. In this case, it did not borrow any money. What is its borrowing? 0. It will pay no interest. It will pay 50 interest. In second case, how much it borrowed? 800. On 800, it will pay 10% because it has borrowed. It has borrowed at 10%. 80 will be the interest. So interest will be subtracted. Any other answer? Sorry, any other question?
No, sir. Thank you.
So what is the
Yes.
different number of shares and the
No, your voice, Varis, your voice is not clear.
what is different number of shares?
So still, I think either some problem with me or at your end. The voice is not clear still. Okay, now I have a question for 3 students in the class. Wahab, Aditya and Mubashir. All of you are around?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Aditya, are you around?
Yes.
Wahab
Sir.
and Mubashir. After joining the class at 8, at what time did you join
I'm
back?
in the class from the starting itself. Yes, sir.
Since beginning you are in the class?
No, sir.
You have not left even for a minute? Okay, fine. Okay, Wahab, how about you?
Yes, sir, I am also in the.
Okay. I am just asking, how about you, Mubashir? Anyway, you answer me privately in the WhatsApp. Don't answer in the class, don't answer in the group. The question I ask you, after joining the class, when did you join back? Your answer should be posted in my personal number of WhatsApp group, in the personal number, not in the group. Let us continue. Varis is asking, why did we take different number class? What is this class? Different. Varis, can you say it again? Different number of shares. Okay, different number of shares. I'll explain. Different. Why did you take different number of shares? We have not taken different number of shares. It is very much from the data only. Here we are taking number of Here we are taking 50, there we are taking 20. 100 shares. See, if you have 1000 equity and you assume value of share rupees 10, how many number of shares will be there? 100. How many number of, what is the amount of equity? 500. 500 equity, it is in rupees. It is in rupees. If the value of one share is 10, how many shares will be there? 50. Now, what is the value of equity? It is rupees 200. And if rupees 200 is there and unchanged, it has to, then the number of shares will be 20. Is the question clear? Is the answer clear to you now? Number of shares, let me write here what I have done. Number of shares. It is serial number 2, serial 2 divided by 10. 10 is the value of a share. 10 is the face value of a share. Serial number 2. Serial number 2 is your equity. If equity is 1000, face value of share is 10, so naturally number of shares will be 100. Equity is 500, value of is 10, then naturally number of shares will be 50. Similarly, when you took 550 as a figure, number of shares in that case would have been 10. Does it answer your question now? Yes. Any other question? Okay, if no questions, we can proceed. Look at the last slide which I generated for you. In this slide, we have taken just case of one firm. Case of only one firm. Assets are 1000 all through. 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000. These are various stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Equity is 800 and equity is 200. So debt equity ratio is 300. So equity is decreasing in every stage. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and debt is increasing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Based on this, we have worked out debt equity ratio. ROA remain unchanged. Likewise, we have made calculations, the calculation which were made earlier for 2 cases, 3 cases, 1, 2, 3. Here, the calculations have been made for as many as 8 cases, 8 or 9, 8 cases, 1, 2, 3, like this. So you observe this, what is happening when equity keeps on increasing, decreasing, or debt keeps on increasing, or vice versa. What is the effect on EPA? Also see what is percentage increase in debt, what is percentage decrease in debt, in what way EPS is increasing by what percentage. As this date, as of now, it will not be clear, but maybe when you look at it constantly, analyze it, read it carefully, you will be able to answer several questions that I asked in the class before. So this is for observation only. So once you observe it, once you read it, you will be in a position to answer those questions, and also the ones that we have discussed in the class before, like which one is desirable, more or less, and under what condition. This question remains unanswered, that is under what condition. The conditions under which firm can lower, down, or increase its debt equity ratio. If you can think it right now, you can share. If not, we will leave it for the next class. With this, our discussion on ratio analysis is over. You will have it more when you reach in second term. In second term, there will be a chapter in financial management. In financial management, there will be a chapter on capital structure. On this, we will study this in detail there. Right now, in the accounting class, it is enough to say what a debt equity ratio is and what are the implications of a higher or lower debt equity ratio. Now, anything else you need to discuss about it, or shall we close the chapter, this particular ratio, this particular aspect? This particular aspect we have closed. Yes. I mean, I can still answer, no problem. Yes.
So will Ambani prefer firm A or firm B as an owner?
Okay. I can't say about what he will do. I can say about myself only, because what people will do, it is their perception. But because you have referred to a specific person, will he prefer to answer this right now? Sorry. Right now, there's a practical answer. Right now, he prefers this. Right now, he prefers this. Earlier, he was preferring this. Much earlier, he was this. Even much earlier, he was preferring this. His preference 10 years ago was this. His preference 5 years ago was this. His preference 2 years ago was this. His preference as on date is this. Having explained to you this, perhaps there can be answer to this question. Under what conditions a firm should lower down or increase debt equity ratio?
Sir, in the starting, when it should increase its debt equity ratio, but as soon as it start growing, it should start decreasing it. The later stage, as it becomes financially more stable and debt starts to decrease as it starts to pay its creditors, as it also starts to gain profit as well and revenues.
Okay, perhaps it is not. Let me ask this question specifically from those students. This question is specifically from those students who have enrolled themselves either voluntarily or by force or by choice or by compulsion in the course of Islamic banking and finance. What is their specific observation or what is their specific choice? This question is especially from those who are enrolled in Islamic banking and finance course. What is your take? Students from Islamic banking only should answer this. What is their take? Higher debt equity ratio or lower debt equity ratio? Yes, students of Islamic banking and finance. Do you think this is a separate question for you or it doesn't make any difference? Anyone from IBF?
So even I am from
No
IBF,
debt.
but I gave my answer.
What is your answer, Aditya?
Sir, I gave you earlier the one I provided.
Okay, 9:1. Any other? Aisha wrote no. Any other student of IBF? What will be their choice? More debt, higher debt, no debt?
Sir, no debt. No debt.
Should strive for
No debt.
risk minimization.
In the beginning and later on you can.
Yes, sir. When you see that the firm is being successful, you can reduce the amount of debt in the capital
When you
structure.
think that the firm is successful, you can
Lower the amount of debt.
lower the amount of debt. Okay. Not. I'm not saying a correct or incorrect answer. I have just heard you. There are only 3 comments from, or maybe 4 comments from the students of IBF. For them, sorry. For them, it's more important. But Aditya, you wrote no debt here, but your answer earlier was 9:1, isn't it?
No, sir. My answer, I thought your earlier question that why is it like that? So I thought you were asking the same question.
Arre, listen, I asked you what will be your choice. You wrote B3. So B3 means 4:1 or 9:1?
No, sir. For what was the question? I don't remember actually.
So what was the answer? Then what did you write B3?
Sir, I asked for the what which involves maximum risk. That was the answer. B3, and you said
That
correct.
was the question which involves maximum risk. I'm sorry. You are right. B3 was your answer when you wrote. Okay. So now your answer is noted. We will leave this discussion here. I'll explain to you the answer later if you are not able to work it out. Somebody reminded me, and correctly so, that we did not discuss this debt service coverage ratio. Take out your pen and answer book, write it down. Debt service coverage ratio is equal to net operating income divided by plus principal repayment. Interest plus principal repayment. In numerator, it is net operating income. In denominator, interest plus principal. Now, what is this ratio? Debt service coverage ratio. The word itself suggests debt service coverage. That means, I mean, to what extent your debt servicing is covered. Debt service means you borrow money and you pay back. When you pay back with interest, it is called you are servicing your debt. The money that you borrowed, you are paying back with interest. So debt service coverage ratio tries to find out the extent to which the loan company took is covered. It is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Higher the coverage ratio, better will be the rating of company. More people would be willing to extend loan to give goods on credit if it enjoys higher credit rating. When will it enjoy higher credit rating? When its ratio of debt service coverage rate, this ratio will be higher. So this ratio talks about your liquidity. This ratio talks about your solvency, especially with special reference to your capacity of paying back your money. Higher the capacity, better would be your liquidity. Better people will place you in a higher category of established company, a good company which will service its debt much easily, or which can repay its debt very easily. So higher the ratio, better it. How do we calculate? Net operating income divided by this interest plus principal. So if you calculate this, you will be in a position to arrive at the debt service coverage ratio. It can be 2:1, 3:1, 4:1, whatever. Higher the ratio, better will be for the company. Now, those of you who have not written your names and roll numbers can write your name or roll numbers now. Not earlier one. Start writing now. Write your roll number now. Do it fast. हाँ बताओ, बताओ। अच्छा, तो कहाँ हो? अच्छा ठीक है। अच्छा एक अभी तो गेट नंबर नहीं लिखा हुआ उसके ऊपर। के हिसाब से नहीं वो बात ठीक है, 1 घंटा पहले देख लेना। अब तो तुम इत्मीनान से तो तुम वहाँ पर इत्मीनान करना घूमते थे। ये जो है ना, जो बोर्ड लगे हुए हैं, बोर्ड में